Good evening, Wyoming. Our top story tonight in the courtroom with that junior high school teacher accused of sexually abusing a former student.
Now, KKTQ's Giovanni Pinto is outside the courthouse. And Giovanni, I hear the evidence presented today caused the former teacher to crack.
That's right, Hallie. It was day 2 of Joseph Meza's trial here at the Laramie County District Courthouse, where the former junior high school teacher faced 8 counts of first-degree sexual abuse to a minor. Now, the alleged juvenile victim took her time on the stand Tuesday, detailing what she says were acts of sexual abuse that, according to court documents, happened between May of 2014 all the way to April of 2017.
After his meeting, and he was saying he was coming to get me to hang out and have sex.
The state presented pages of secret texts between the supposed victim and the former math teacher. Now, the two allegedly communicated through Yahoo Messenger and even used code names for each other so they wouldn't get caught.
How were those documents created?
When I went and screenshotted everything we used to communicate so nobody would know.
But the trial took a shocking turn after the lunch break. Joseph Meza changed his original not guilty plea to those 8 counts and in exchange pled guilty to 1 count of first-degree sexual abuse to a minor. Surely a shock to the courtroom and even the juvenile victim who claimed this alleged abuse caused her to attempt suicide back in 2016. Now, Judge Campbell accepted the plea, telling Meza that he would be charged in the weeks to come and that he faces 20 to 40 years in prison for that singular count of first-degree sexual abuse to a minor. Reporting in the capital city, I'm Giovanni Pinto. Hallie, Sloan.
Thank you, Giovanni. And back here in Casper, the man involved in a July shooting back in court this morning, Danny Mabbitt, pled not guilty to 2 felony charges, including aggravated assault and battery. Mabbitt threatened another man with a gun during a fight, firing it several times. And a Wyoming man was sentenced to prison today for growing marijuana plants in his home. Jeffrey Halleck will serve 2 to 5 years behind bars for 2 charges, including possession of marijuana and illegal possession of a firearm. Police searched his home and found a grow room along with liquid THC.
And an argument turned violent for one couple, resulting in the Casper Police Department being called to the residence. Valerie Brown is facing charges of domestic violence after throwing objects, including a kitchen knife, at her boyfriend. According to the police report, that knife did hit the victim, causing him to bleed, and Brown is facing a domestic battery charge as well as an aggravated assault and battery.
And now to new details this evening on that bear hunt planned for this fall. The grizzly bear now back on the endangered species list here in the state of Wyoming. A federal judge ruled that the bear population has not returned to a sustainable level. Wyoming Game and Fish Department officials responded, stating disappointment with the decision, also saying the bear population in the region has recovered since the 1970s, a sentiment that some residents in Casper have shared.
70 there, and the bears are just ridiculous. I don't agree with what they did. They just did it to stop the hunt in Wyoming.
And the Wyoming Commission for the Game and Fish Department has voted down the new elk hunting proposals. Some of the potential proposals included an increase in non-resident elk licenses and restrictions of crossbows. Wyoming Game and Fish attributes public input as the main factor for the rejection of the proposals.
It was really good to have the conversation because everything was on the table, and we had public meetings in person, and also we did a Facebook Live as a way to take some public comments and take some public questions as well. We really do appreciate all the people who got involved and offered their comments, and I think that helped the commission make a decision as well.
It has been almost 4 years to the day since Chris Richardson vanished from Casper, an event that has torn at the community here as investigators try to find out what happened.
And Richardson's daughter, Amber Fazio, stopped by our studio to discuss her mother's unsolved case and an event at David Street Station she's putting in her honor.
She's a mom and a grandma. We've got 5 kiddos between my brother and I that don't have their grandma and don't know what happened to her. And we just want answers and we want closure. And she was an amazing person, big in the community with a business, and I just want everyone to know that she's still not here. We don't know, and there's still a $250,000 reward out there that we would happily pay.
And today in Casper, some healthcare providers received some training on how to start an important conversation.
The focus on healthcare and issues in the LGBTQ community, and K2's Phil Benatti has more on the story.
Dana Morrison is starting the discussion, all to talk about a more direct way to treat a community that has for years had to endure a separate dose of pain. Medical care providers sidestepping questions that could actually help in the treatment of their patients.
The primary focus is understanding the health disparities that are experienced by people who identify as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, or questioning. And so it's understanding those health disparities, but also getting tools for understanding how to talk to patients, how to create welcoming environments.
Morrison is part of the AIDS Education and Training Center out of Oregon. Tuesday, healthcare practitioners in Casper went back to school, this time to better understand sexual orientation and gender identity to improve overall patient treatment. Anna Kinder runs the AIDS education program in Natrona County. She tells us much of the gay and lesbian transgender communities don't believe they get the proper treatment they need.
Sexual orientation, gender identity, aka SOGI, is a topic that we've recognized is something that we really need to make sure for inclusive environments, providing the care that we need to. And so it's across the whole nation that we're actually doing these kinds of presentations.
According to experts, one of the most prevalent issues that the LGBTQ face when it comes to treatment of AIDS and the stigma that follows the life of one in the community. And what's most alarming is that most doctors don't know someone's orientation or identity simply because they just don't ask.
Understanding trauma and resiliency. And so trauma-informed care people talk about a lot, but there's historical trauma. There's the trauma of being in a marginalized community that affects the way you interact with the world. It's the microaggressions that, which are little things every day that wear you down.
Experts say this is only the beginning of this movement in Wyoming health, which hopefully will lead to more awareness and better communication. In Casper, Phil Benatti, K2 News.
Thank you, Phil. And now to the fires this evening. Thousands of acres continue to burn in Sublette County as wildfires continue to grow.
49,805 acres have burned, and it is currently only at 25% containment. There are more than 813 people fighting the fire and are expected to see a total of 1,000 or more personnel by the day's end. And no new evacuation orders have been placed, but the fire managed to knock out communication for some time. Officials say they will conduct initial damage assessments Tuesday.
We're going in to the safe areas that we can and trying to make notifications for anybody who lost a home. That's one of our main goals today, is try to get some of those notifications out and assess some damages in the area if we can. The fire went right through a comm site, knocked out sheriff's office radios and links to Jackson. It was a pretty good loss for comms, but our radio tech's up there right now and he's restored some of it.
All right, Eric, as we just saw those fires growing overnight, hopefully the weather conditions kind of work out to help those firefighters.
It's a little bit cooler, and there was some rain last night, so hopefully.
We did see some rain here in the Oil City, western Wyoming, where we need it. Didn't really see much of anything. Take a look here at the latest out of Sublette County on the Roosevelt fire. And as we go ahead and tilt three-dimensional and zoom in, you can see exactly what's going on there. And like Hallie mentioned, 49,805 acres. This is updated as of 26 minutes ago. The containment is at 25%. You can see the smoke billowing on the YDOT cam over towards Bondurant. Now let's take a look at the advisory map. The area shaded in that light beige, that is a fire weather watch that expires on Thursday at 8 o'clock. Fire weather warning is in effect until tomorrow at 8 o'clock for the area shaded in pink. Now the area shaded in this light blue color, that is a frost advisory that expires at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. And then the area shaded in purple in Fremont County, that is a freeze warning. Again, that expires at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. So 75% of the state under some type of advisory. Now, Lynx HD radar showing a clean sweep across the entire state. Let's take a look at the temperatures outside. We're only sitting at 60 at the Natrona County Airport, upper 50s towards Riverton. You go to Buffalo and Gillette, as well as Newcastle, low 50s. Some of the outlying areas seeing temperatures in the upper 40s. Now we go ahead and take a look here at Advanced Track hour by hour. And you're noticing a couple things. Nothing to talk about in terms of cloud cover, nothing to talk about in terms of precipitation for the evening and overnight hours. And for the most part, Advanced Track's going to get a break as we roll on into your Wednesday. But we do have a cold front to talk about, and that's what's going to drop the temperatures. And we'll tell you when with Wyoming's most accurate forecast in a few minutes. Guys, back to you.